In this lesson, we're going to go in and start building the wheels and tires. Here we go. Got our car coming together, and now we need to add some wheels, tires here. You can see right here we've got an image of what we're looking for. It has these kind of 7 thick spokes, and then you can see the brake disc behind there, and you've got a caliper right inside there as well. And then just a little cap right here, and a little recessed detail inside there, and then you've got the rim and the tire. Okay, so let's kind of start from the outside in. We'll go ahead and build the tire first. So let's just bring in, I'm just going to use a polygon primitive pipe to start with. Just going to rotate this guy 90 degrees in Z so we can see the profile here a little bit. And I'll just kind of move them up here so we can kind of get the thickness the way that we want it. Okay, I'm going to go into my creation node here, and I'm going to adjust this thickness of this pipe. Get something a little bit better. And keep in mind that when you sub-D this, it's going to lose a little volume, so you might want to have your thickness be just slightly higher than you think it looks like. And we could probably bump it down just a little bit, maybe something like 0.32, and then scale it down a little bit. All right, and now I don't need quite this much resolution. Normally, if I'm doing something circular that I'm going to subdivide up, I'll do at least 8. In this case, it's a large tire and it's a big detail of the car, so I'm going to make sure that I get that smoothness and enough resolution in there. So I'm just going to do 12, just a little bit more. Okay, so I'll bump those subdivisions to 12. Now if I take a look here, I'm going to just move it out. We need to actually start making the shape of the tire. Okay, so I know that we want it to be kind of squared off but a little bit curved up here at the top, so I'll just add a line here, and I'm just going to pull that out just a little bit. Okay, you can do the same thing on the other side, and just pull that out a little bit. The inside doesn't matter as much because the wheel will be obviously facing out. All right, so now we need to start coming down here. We want it to kind of curve down. It's pretty straight on the side, and then it curves into the wheel, to the rim. So I'm just going to grab maybe one there, and then I'm just going to select all these faces right in here. Just the ones on the inside. Okay, so I don't need these. And I'll just scale those down a bit. And then I'm just going to delete those. Okay. I'm going to grab these 2 on top. Say select contiguous edges to select that entire ring. And I'm just going to scale these in just a little bit to add to that kind of little curvature there. And then you might want to go in here and add an edge to hold that shape. Let's subdivide that and see how it looks. All right, that's looking pretty good. You might want to actually sharpen this side up over here by adding some edges here. And let's check that out. That looks a lot better. We might want to actually pull an edge out on the side here. So I'm just going to grab a new edge right here and just pull that out so we get a nice little bulge on the side of our tire there. Check it again. Alright, that looks a lot better. So now we need to come in and start working with the rim. Now to fit all these things together, building a tire like this, which is kind of obviously the cylinder shape and it's got a center, and we're building all these things off of a center point. When we do that, I kind of like to move that over to the origin. So we've got the width there, so I'm just going to snap this to the origin just so we can have a center point that we know is there, so that when we have all these pieces put together and we try to get that center. We don't have to be guessing. We know exactly where that center needs to be. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in another pipe, and this time we're going to use it to build the rim. 90 degrees, and I'm just going to scale them down here. I'm going to turn off my X-ray, and let's go ahead and just hide that car for a minute. Okay, we can go ahead and match up our resolution around the side by setting that to 12. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and move it out here so we can see what's going on a little bit better. There we go. And this thickness needs to come down. Yeah, something like that probably. And now we need this rim to kind of have a little edge. I'm going to set that down to something like that. The rim needs to actually kind of come out and overlap the tire here. So let's see how we can do that. We come in here and take a look at this guy. So we need a little bit of geometry that's extending out. Let's see what we can do. All right, so we just scale this up a bit. And we'll just add a little bit of geometry right along here. Okay, so I'm just going to add an edge loop right there. And then I'm just going to select these faces all around the side here. Just these guys. Get all those selected. And then I'm just going to do an extrude. And let's just scale. Well, let's just move those out in Z. And let's do it slightly once and then one more time. Okay. And then I'm just going to grab these inside ones. I'm going to extrude these in. I can get these all selected here. There we go. And let's just extrude those. And let's push these in. Okay. And then you'll have to come in here. It looks like since we extruded those in, it's giving us a little bit of a problem. So I'm just going to instead, we don't want to have those leftover edges there. So I'm just going to extrude these guys out instead. So basically we want the rim part out here near the tire to be kind of extended out a little bit farther, and then this part to kind of go in slightly, just like a car rim. All right, now let's extrude those out. Well, if I can make sure I don't have anything selected there. Just go to wireframe just to make sure. That looks pretty good. All right, so now I'm just going to extrude those out. Okay, just slightly. And I'm going to scale this in just a little bit, so it's a little more flush there. And I can go in here and add some resolution if I want these to be really sharp. Okay. Maybe this to be a little bit sharper. Let's go and subdue that and check it out, see how it looks. Looks like we're getting some issues right up here at the top. You can see how that's kind of messed up there. Let's check that out. Looks like we've got some issues here because we had an edge or a face selected that we didn't want. So this will be real easy to fix here. Just going to delete these faces. Here we go. And this going to use my append tool. Okay. First I'll append face right in there. Go ahead and get rid of this guy. And then I can just grab all these edges. Just fill that hole and then redraw that. Okay. So you're going to run into issues like that occasionally, and there's no reason to worry about that. Just to go ahead and take control and fix that little issue there. Check it out now. Check it out with our tire here. See how that's looking. I need to scale it in and move it in just a little bit. Not too concerned about the inside because we're not going to be seeing that. I actually want to maybe curve this out just a little bit. So what I might do is grab this edge right here and just scale it out a bit, and that'll kind of give it a little room to breathe there, and maybe smooth that out just slightly. Okay. All right. So now all we need to do is go in here. We've got our tire and our rim. Now we need to do is build this actual wheel here, the spokes and the interior part of the wheel, plus the brake material, the disc and the caliper, and fit that all together and put it right onto our car. Okay, so we'll go in and finish out our wheel in the next lesson.